All right, all right. Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday to you. We want to join you and welcome you for joining us for another weekly wellness. It's your girl, Comedienne Joy, and I'm joined here with the amazing, wonderful, so talented, and quite beautiful Dr. Mia Cowan and me, Bella Wellness. We got a whole lot of stuff going on, Dr. Mia. We got a conference going on. We got our regular wonderful tips that we're going to talk about aging well and living a beautiful life. Good morning, Dr. Mia.
Yes. Well, hey, Comedienne Joy, thank you for joining me today. And yes, we are super excited. For those of you who don't know, I am Dr. Mia, the B3 specialist at Me Bella Wellness Center in Birmingham, Alabama, board certified gynecologist, where we offer gynecology for women and adolescents, as well as hormone balance, weight management, total wellness solutions with supplements, intimacy services, and laser hair removal. Our goal is to help you live well, age well, and experience everlasting intimacy.
Until you die. Until you die. You forgot the part until you die.
Forever. So we are excited about our conference. It's the second time we're doing this conference. The first time was back in 2019. We are bringing you back the foreplay, Ageless Vitality. The foreplay. Ageless Vitality Conference, and we are excited to bring it to you guys. It's going to be bigger and better. It's going to be here March 15th. So you have about a week to get your tickets so that you can come. We'll be there from 9 o'clock until 3 o'clock. And it's going to be so exciting, yet informative and empowering. We're going to empower you through your health and your wellness so that you can live well, age well, and experience everlasting intimacy. And we got this amazing lined up. We are super excited about some of the local doctors here in the community, Dr. Corey Hartman, as well as Dr. Leisha Ellis Cox, as well as Dr. Cree Johnson. And then we also have Peggy Keebler from PK Fitness. She's going to do a demo. She's going to teach us how to exercise, work those pelvic floor muscles, keep them strong and healthy, and also some other exercises so that we can live well and be well balanced as we matriculate through the different stages of life. Then I got for you Dr. Sam, all the way from Michigan, and she is a naturopathic doctor. Y'all have seen her here before. She's going to be talking about all those holistic things we can do for everlasting intimacy. She's going to teach us about great supplements so that we can have great energy and live well and age well. We have Dr. Michelle. You're familiar with her too, Comedienne Joy. She's going to be talking about mindset and the importance of mindset for wellness and intimacy. Of course, yours truly will be talking all about hormone balance, menopause, perimenopause, postmenopause, all the things, all the pauses. And our focus will be hormone balance, along with some good weight management information, as well as, of course, some everlasting intimacy information. And then I'm really excited about this final panel that we have with Dr. Leisha Ellis Cox, Dr. Cree Johnson, and Dr. Javara, who is an intimacy and passion specialist. So we're going to be talking
specialist.
Yes. She's going to teach us all about the toys throughout the event. She'll have her small segments where we go over the different toys, how to use them.
Now, what you say we got to be small? She need a big segment. That's important.
She has like 3 small segments, and then she got the big segment at the end for the panel. So we're going to get a lot of information about intimacy, the act of intimacy, and all of those things that we don't ever get a chance to talk about as women, and that people used to not even mention to us as women. But we're going to be talking about all things intimacy and how to live a life of wellness so that you can forever experience everlasting intimacy.
We got to have her on one of these weekly wellnesses, because I don't know if you're supposed to use a certain toy for a certain thing, or do you use the one that just do y'all the things. It may be like toys when you were a kid. This good for 3 to 5, but then this may be good for 6 to 10. Joy got questions and she just want to know.
That's why you need to be there, Comedienne Joy. I know you don't, if you can stop through, I know you always doing all your traveling and your eat, drink, and ride tours, but hopefully on March 15th, you'll have a little bit of time to come by so you can learn from Dr. Javara. You are always welcome, and we want you in the place, if at all you can be there. But I know you got
one thing you did tell him, Dr. Mia, is where is it going to be?
At the UAB Hilton downtown, a nice, it's actually a very nice event. I actually went there for the first time to like really pay attention to it and check it out today when we were doing the logistics with my event planner. It's an amazing event center. UAB really did a good job on redoing that particular hotel. So it's going to be great. We're going to have different rooms. We're going to have a big room where we're doing most of the activities. We're going to have breakfast, the foretaste, and we're going to have some little lunch options as well. So y'all need to make sure you get your tickets and come, because it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be empowering, and it's going to be very informative.
All right, so we need to get a room discount so that way we get all this knowledge. We're going to be juiced up. We may not can make it at 459 Alabaster, Bessemer on the other side of town. We may want to use that information ASAP, because, you know, when I get new tips and stuff, I be pumped out. I got to put it to practice. I got to make sure what I heard in them sessions is right. So I want to be able to practice. So I gotta call them out and see if I know somebody to get some room tips.
That's right, girl. And you can get a room. It's free parking. I mean, everything is going to be made available. It's going to be convenient. Y'all are going to have a great time. Get your best girlfriend, because it is a women's only event. So get your best girlfriend. Y'all come on through so we can have these conversations that we've all been wanting to have, but nobody ever has them. It's going to be March 15th, UAB Hilton downtown. Be there by 9 o'clock, because the show shall begin at 9 o'clock.
Well, how much are the tickets?
Girl, the tickets are not that expensive at all. It's much cheaper than most conferences, well under $400, unless you want to do VIP.
Okay. All right. Well, that's what's up. So we can find the information on Me Bella Wellness.
On mebellawellness.com. You can just click that link, go ahead and get your tickets. And we are super excited to have you. And we're excited to be able to bring this kind of conference so we can have these conversations. Because a lot of people we haven't in the past talked a lot about menopause and all of the frustrating symptoms that go along with perimenopause and menopause. And we're going to be talking about intimacy in detail. We're going to talk about intimacy from a perspective that we haven't necessarily discussed before. And then we're going to be talking about all the wellness things and the lifestyle changes that you need to make to ensure that you can always experience everlasting intimacy. So we are really excited about this conference. So now, Comedienne Joy, we have told the people about the conference. Right. Let's just give them a few teasers on some of the things we're going to talk about. So what is it that you hear most of your lady friends ask questions about as far as menopause and perimenopause and everlasting intimacy and just living this life of total wellness as we age and mature?
I think the one thing people talk about a lot and that we tend to hear when you say the word menopause are the hot flashes. And I'm also seeing a lot of people that have all the symptoms that can be taken care of when you get your hormones balanced. And I think some people, they don't even realize that they're at that stage, or these things are happening to me, which was kind of like myself, you know, because it kind of happens gradually that, you know, you start to do things differently, or, you know, we're so busy with life that by the time we realize those subtle changes are there, it's like, man, what is happening? So I usually always, when I see it on social media, say, hey, you need to check your hormones. Dr. Mia, it's several of us that tag Me Bella Wellness and things, say, hey, you need to go and get checked out because that could be an issue. And when I was at your office yesterday, and when I was there a couple weeks ago, you had something that I've been meaning to slow my life down and post, is that you offer payment options. Because some people are like, oh, well, I can't afford it. But you can't afford to continue to be crazy and have hot flashes either. But you do have payment options as well as different packages.
Yeah, so we have subscription plans, and we have an Affirm option too with our app for Me Bella Repeat MD. You can actually use Affirm, so you don't have to pay it all at once. They will pay it up front for you, and they give you some very reasonable payment options. I've used Affirm several times for different things that I want, and I don't necessarily want to come out of pocket for. Great and good interest rates as well. So Affirm is an option. We have subscription plans where some of our patients pay for their pellets every month for the year, and they can do that in a 3-pellet package or a 4-pellet package. So somebody like me, I need mine every 3 months. Some people can go closer to 4 months. that is an option as well. So Care Credit is also an option. So some great subscription plans as well as the Affirm option or Care Credit to make sure that you can get your pellets, your weight management services, your intimacy services so that you can live your best life. And you're right, Comedienne Joy. A lot of people don't realize that some of the symptoms that they're experiencing are definitely related to hormonal imbalance. They feel like as you age and mature, you're going to be more tired all the time, and you may not sleep as well, and you start to gain weight, and you're having the night sweats, and your desire for intimacy decreases, and your enjoyment decreases. And then you start to notice that you can't remember as well, you can't focus as well, and then the irritability, you know, the little crabby grandmama. So all of those things are directly related to hormones, as well as the hot flashes, the changes in the vaginal tissue, the dryness, the weight gain, and the difficulty losing weight. All of those things are directly related to hormones. So if you're having those symptoms and they're starting to be more frequent, or they're starting to affect your quality of life, that is a good time for you to come in. Let us check your hormones, get you balanced. Sometimes it's not just the hormones like testosterone, estrogen, and progesterone. It can be your thyroid hormones. It can be your insulin levels that are off. It can be your vitamin levels. So we check all of those things so we can completely balance you so that you can live your best life, because it is really difficult to focus when you're having hot flashes, especially when you have to perform. So think about it, Comedienne Joy. You on the stage performing, you know, and then all of a sudden you break out into a hot flash. You have no control over it. Everybody's looking at you. They wondering like, what's wrong with her? She nervous. She don't have her stuff together. Same way in the boardroom, you know, the same way in whatever you're doing, those hot flashes can really negatively affect your quality of life, but they can be fixed.
And when people get on the bus, they think that I'm going to be sweating because they too cold. I'm like, I offer blankets that you can purchase because Joy is not going to be hot. She needs to be comfortable.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I try to remind everybody that this whole little thing with walking around with your fan, not sexy at all.
But what about where them fans that song? So that didn't make it sexy.
That did not make it sexy, but I do like the little song. But you should not need a fan. If you need a fan, you probably need to check your hormones so we can fix them.
So let me ask you this too, now, Dr. Mill. So just if a person, they've, you know, went had their pellets, but sometimes too, some of us women, we're still guilty of not saying no. We're still guilty of doing too much. Should that also be balanced with rest and not saying yes to everyone?
Yes, because stress kills. Like stress can affect your heart negatively. So if you're doing everything for everybody else, not taking care of yourself, not saying no, overdoing it, doing way too much. And that's one of the things we're going to be talking about at the actual event. Dr. RJ actually specializes. She's a clinical psychologist, and she's actually my therapist. And that's one of the people that I work with so that I know how to organize my life so that I am not stressed out all the time, because stress kills. Stress negatively affects your heart, your blood pressure, and everything else. So controlling your stress, saying no, you know, taking time out for yourself, making sure you're resting well, making sure you're doing that meditation and that deep breathing, and making sure you're seeing your therapist and balancing your hormones. It's all of the things that really matter for you to live this life of total wellness, and so you can truly experience what? Everlasting intimacy.
Everlasting intimacy. And also the great thing about you, Dr. Mia, is that you not only treat women, you also treat men. Because if your person, your husband, whoever, if they can't get to attention, then it's stressful for you. And so you could also bring that person in to be Bella Wellness so they too can get some everlasting intimacy. You don't have to embrace it. Well, they just, you know, this is part of life. When Big Daddy and Uncle Junior was coming up, they didn't have the tools that you have. They didn't have blue pills. And you can offer something that's beyond the blue pill where you're not just sitting there waiting. Oh, well, it's been 5 minutes, Bill. I'm tired. You got 3 more minutes.
That's right. Yeah. And that's how I got into treating men, is I'm treating the women, and then they go home and their husbands are still going through andropause. They're still having low testosterone. They don't have a desire. They're having erectile dissatisfaction. So the hormones affect everybody, the men and the women. As we age and mature, women go through perimenopause and menopause, men go through andropause. And so to treat that, the plant-based bioidentical hormone pellet therapy with testosterone, everybody can do testosterone. There's no contraindication for testosterone. However, everybody cannot do the estrogen and progesterone that some women need, especially if they have a history of breast cancer. And they also can't do estrogen if they have a history of a blood clot. But testosterone alone will actually help with most of the symptoms that women and men deal with associated with imbalanced hormones. So it's a great option, the plant-based bioidentical hormone therapy. And not only do you feel better, but you get the benefits of protecting the heart, protecting the brain, the bones, the breast, and the prostate. So all the health benefits on top of aging gracefully.
And everything that we have talked about from these series of weekly wellness, it's so true. We talked about exercise is one of the key things that you said that Peg is going to be about, because you talked about how important it is to do certain stretches, so that way you don't get cramps and all that good stuff. You know, you trying to think you're going to be stellar and get your groove on. You can't get your groove on until my baby gets your
horse.
Exactly, because that ain't sexy. You all doing that right there. That ain't sexy right there.
Not at all. And that pelvic floor, you know, your pelvic floor plays a huge role in your intimacy. So keeping those pelvic floor muscles nice and strong and strengthened, and the exercise component for making sure that you don't fall and you have some balance. Because when you're not exercising, you lose balance and you're more likely to fall. And at this age, you're more likely to actually break something, which could deem you immobile as you continue to age and mature. So exercise is so important for so many reasons, not just, you know, so that you can hold on to muscle, but also for your bone mass, also for your balance, your stress reduction, and your mental health. So we'll definitely be focusing on that. She'll do some great demos at the beginning, and she'll also do some lunchtime stretches so that we know how to stretch every day so that we can maintain our balance and our health.
So you mentioned that pelvic floor. How does one know that there's an issue with the floor? Is it just leakage, like
yes,
peeing on yourself?
Yep, that's one sign of it too. Not being able to hold the urine, leakage of urine, the frequency, the urgency, and also when you cough, sneeze, jump, laugh, leaking urine as well. And then during the act of intimacy, you may notice that you don't have as much control of your muscles the way you used to. And that also can be improved with the pelvic floor exercises.
So I think I've heard before, and correct me if I'm wrong, that I don't know if the right term is that it fail. So
oh yeah, when they say to fall down, yes, that is because the tissue changes. So when you mature and you go through menopause and you're no longer producing estrogen, if you're not treating your tissue topically with a vaginal estrogen, a vaginal DHEA, or a vaginal hyaluronic acid, the tissue weakens and things can start to fall down. So for women who've had their uterus removed, they can notice the fall down of the bladder, the fall down of the rectum. For women who still have a uterus and a cervix, they can notice that starts to fall down. So treating that vaginal tissue a few times a week at night, right before bedtime, with one of those three options will help keep that tissue healthy. So you're less likely to get as much of what we call prolapse, which in the real world we call the fall down of stuff, the falling out of stuff, but we consider it prolapse, and that can be the bladder, the bowels, as well as the actual vagina, as well as the actual uterus and cervix.
So is it safe to say that one should just practice Kegel exercises to prevent that?
Yes, and I recommend Kegel exercises not during the act of urination, but you use the muscles that you would use to stop your urine flow, but do that when you're at the stoplight or you're sitting in your car, not when you're actually going to the bathroom. You can try it when you're going to the bathroom to make sure you're working the right muscles, but the best time to do it is throughout the day. So every time you're at a stoplight, if you drive a lot, that's a great time for you to practice your Kegel exercises, or right after you go to the bathroom, something that you do all the time to remind yourself to do the Kegel exercises to keep that pelvic floor healthy and strong.
So would you say like you do like 10 thrusts or 20 thrusts? Like what's the normal average protocol on that?
I would say just start off doing it 5 to 10 times and then seeing if you can hold it longer and longer. So start out being able to just do the contracting and relaxing, contracting and relaxing. And then over time, make sure you can hold that contraction a little bit longer. And then, continue to hold it longer and do it more frequently. And they actually have like Kegel balls that you can buy to make sure that you're really working those muscles and you can hold those balls inside to help with the pelvic floor muscles. So there are a lot of things out there to help you rebuild your pelvic floor, which is important for bladder as well as function.
Inside what, Dr. Mia?
The vault, the vaginal vault. Yep. You can actually put them in and you can, hold them in, and that's actually working your Kegel exercises, your Kegel muscles or your pelvic floor muscles. And that works well to actually teach people, because some people can't quite get the whole contraction of that muscle. So some people need help to actually learn how to, do their Kegel exercises for a well-strengthened pelvic floor.
You know you don't need a comedian doing this segment with you, right?
I know, right?
All over the place. I'm the person, I'm going to need to see some pictures, because, see, first of all, I'm thinking, is that ball lost in there? If that ball lost in there, what you been doing? That's why it's just all loose. I tell people you can't let everybody up in your house. That's a good, am I right, though, Dr. If you let too many people in your house, want to make it loose quicker? I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's a good question, Comedienne Joy. That's a good question. Okay. But I think if you look at the opposite side of that too, if you don't use it, you lose it. So making sure that you are always using those pelvic floor muscles. And again, at the Foreplay Ageless Vitality Conference, we'll be talking about some help aids that you can have in case you are not intimate with a partner. There are some things you can do alone to help with your Kegel floor, to help with your pelvic floor, and to help with your everlasting intimacy so that you can live a life of total wellness.
Well, I'm going to show up right at that part. I'm going to need to know what time that segment is, because I'm going to clear my calendar. Now, all the rest of the stuff I think is important, but I really want to be there. And I don't have anything to do that morning. So I need to be there for that part. Like, I want to be on the front row.
Yes, and like that will be throughout. We'll be talking about all of those intimacy options, especially for our, and now as you mature, you're in your relationship, as you age and mature, our bodies change, men and women's bodies change. So, understanding different options in the bedroom as things start to change and not work as well as they used to. You can be creative, and we'll be talking about that at the conference as well.
Ooh, you're going to make some of them church ladies be like, now, my husband said we can't be doing all that. But I'm going to do it anyway, because you said at the conference.
Right. And I always say, well, show me in the Bible where it says that you are not supposed to experience the gift of God forever, especially with your husband.
All right, now, you heard that. So y'all need to be at that conference. But if you are experiencing any type of changes in your body and you're getting younger, then you need to make an appointment, get your consultation at the very least at Me Bella Wellness. Because again, things can just happen so subtle that you'll just start embracing it. But you got to slow down and start thinking about, wait a minute, I didn't used to be like this. I wasn't this tired. I didn't get this hot up. This pooch won't leave. Just get a bigger shirt. That's my weight loss tip right there. But I'm just saying, all of those changes will happen, because my true story is I've been doing these segments and different events with you, Dr. Mia, for years before I was a patient. But I was listening to you like years later on the radio, and I'm like, you naming all this stuff. I'm like, I got that. But at that point, I was knocking on, I think, my early 40s. Now I've been with you, I'm pretty sure. Well, your daughter is old now. So when your daughter was little, like she was a toddler.
Yeah, like 10 years ago at least. Yeah.
Right. And I'm like, now the things I was hearing, it wasn't, I used to make jokes at it, but now that I'm at this young age, it's real life. And
Yeah.
so the things that we tell you on Weekly Wellness, it is so real. If you don't have all the symptoms, you may have some of them, but listen to your body. And that's why we like to bring this information to you. And you do want to at least get a consultation and talk to Dr. Me Bella Wellness, because they can treat your whole self, all
That's
of you.
all of you. So thank you, Comedienne Joy. What do you have going on? Because you always got some good stuff. I know one thing that you're doing is getting Marley and her class ready for the prom, the 10th grade prom at her
Yes.
school. And they're going to be getting on the bus. They love getting on the eat, drink, and ride bus. It's a party bus. They get to play their music. And then she takes them from their place to eat to the actual prom, and they just absolutely enjoy it. What other things do you have going on with the bus as well as your travel?
So I do have several proms that come up, and I gotta say this. So I feel like Marley is like my own daughter, so I don't have to have that conversation with her. But when a lot of parents ask me about taking their kids to the prom, I let them know no bags are allowed, because they're trying to drink. And so Joy is not that party bus where you can have your red cups and your white claw, because I don't work too hard in these streets to get in trouble because your kid will have some white claw. And sometimes it's surprising that they won't call back, or they'll say, oh, they can't have nothing. No, if your kid is of legal drinking age, I don't care what they do. But you will never see Joy letting kids drink, because that's not what I do. And if I see it, I'm going to take it. So that's my prom rule. But again, I don't worry about that with Marlon. But I got some more proms. Obviously, I have my food tour where y'all can get on the bus and we go to some amazing local restaurants. And then just for people who haven't seen it, I have relaxed my drinking policy for the adults, because at one point I had to say stop the madness because y'all doing too much. But Joy decided to be nice. But if you get drunk, you're going to find your way home. You won't be riding back on that bus. And then I've been planning amazing trips. I just finished someone's 50th birthday party in Cancun. I got some sisters going to Costa Rica for their trip, and then another group for Memorial Day weekend to Punta Cana. So if you're looking for an amazing stay, that's why I'm always traveling, because I'm working for you. I'm going to look at amazing properties to make sure it's good for you. So yeah, if you need a vacation, you want some fun. Also, for my team building, because we are in a different climate, I still offer the Civil Rights Tour. So if you guys are interested in learning about all the history that happened here in Birmingham, I got the best tour guide ever. We get on the bus. We drive through the streets of Birmingham and we show you where a lot of these changes happened and the movement. And then if you're up for a whole weekend thing, we can go to Selma as well as Montgomery. So lots of team building, lots of education, lots of fun. So when you get your hormones checked and you're ready to tune in, then I'm your fun person. But when you got ailments, we're going to send to Dr. Mia for some real help, because I got bootleg tips for you.
So, all right, y'all heard it from Comedienne Joy. Go ahead and get your tour schedule. Go ahead and do your eat, drink, and ride. It's fun. We do it a lot with the office for team building to have a good time. We'll go out and we'll eat, because everybody likes to eat, everybody likes to drink, and everybody likes to ride on that fun bus. So don't forget about that. And y'all, don't forget to get your tickets before they sell out. I've been doing some news shows. I did a couple this morning, and I'll be doing them throughout the week. So make sure you get your tickets while you can. It's going to be an amazing event. You don't want to miss it. We want to continue to be able to bring events like this to our community, because it's all about knowing how to live well so that you can age well and experience everlasting intimacy, and learning how to create a real healthy lifestyle that you can follow so you can live your best life. So it is Dr. Mia at Me Bella Wellness Center. Thank you so much, Comedienne Joy, for spending time with me today so we can let the people know what we have going on, and we could give them some information about how to live their best lives so that they can understand that you do not have to matriculate through the different stages of life in misery. We have some amazing treatment options so that you can live your best life forever, ever, and experience everlasting intimacy.
And I got to say one more thing before we get out of here. If by chance Dr. Mia is not available to see you because she's also a surgeon, her team is amazing. So don't just say, if I can't see Dr. Mia, I don't want to see nobody. No, nurse practitioner Brittany. Listen,
and nurse practitioner Valerie, and nurse practitioner Leisha, who she doesn't come often, but she comes some. But all of them have been trained by me. They are Dr. Mia and Me Bella certified. They take great care of everybody, and they take great care of me. So one of my patients came in today that I usually do her pill, and I'm like, hey, this is who does my pellet. So, okay, it is okay for her to take good care of you, because I wouldn't let anybody take care of my patients unless they were going to do a great job. And I have an amazing team of providers that I'm really proud of, and I'm proud that they can take great care of my amazing patients that I care so much about. So thank you for saying that, Comedienne Joy.
Yes, ma'am. So you go on to meetbellawellness.com, make those appointments, and also don't forget to get your tickets while you're there. We look forward to seeing you. I'm just gonna remember the foreplay, but it had a nice ring to it.
Ageless Vitality.
Yes,
March 15th. Get your tickets.
That's it. So we'll see you soon, guys.
All right, y'all go live well, age well, and experience everlasting
intimacy.
We'll see y'all next time. Bye. And don't forget to watch Ageless Intimacy with Dr. Mia and Joseph on tomorrow, Sunday, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, same place. Bye.